Do you think it's possible to distill whiskey from this strange fruit? They are called Pejibayes, and it's a type of date produced in Mesoamerica. It is very rich in starch and carotenes. I have a feeling it will make a very aromatic whiskey. First, I'm going to chop it into small cubes to facilitate the process, and the seeds are discarded. I got 2 kilograms of pulp. It is a very hard fruit, don't be fooled. Here in my country, it is consumed cooked and dressed with mayonnaise. I placed it in the pot along with about 10 liters of clean water. This is going to take some work. Look at it boil. We must extract its starch and its carotenes. The starches will give us ethanol, and the carotenes will bring floral aromas to the whiskey. Did you know that? I think I'm going to remove the foam. It has saponins, and it slows down fermentation. Well, now it's cold. I'm going to blend it. I want to extract all the starch. Once blended, it goes straight into the pot. Did you think it was going to be that easy? I need it at 70 degrees Celsius, and the pH must be between 5 and 5.0. I'll have to add a pinch of citric acid. Well, here comes the best-kept secret of home whiskey producers, alpha amylase, an enzyme that will break down the starch into dextrins. 1 tablespoon and half a glass of water and into the pot, which is at 70 degrees and must not go up. This is critical. Now, the wort is no longer thick. It's liquid. The starch has already been destroyed. But now we must convert those dextrins into glucose. For that, we let it drop to 40 degrees Celsius and add glucoamylase. In the same way, we dissolve it in half a glass of clean water and into the pot. Sorry for the mess, friends, but I'm making whiskey at home. Well, now comes another secret for good homemade whiskey. Corn sugar, also known as dextrose. Yeast loves it and will produce ethanol with it. Plus, it gives us that typical American whiskey profile. We dissolve it in warm water, and we're going to incorporate it into the wort. We're going to measure the Brix degrees with my refractometer, and it gives us 14. Excellent. The wort will end up with 7% ethanol, which is good for whiskey. Let's go to the fermenter, a 20-liter plastic jug, the same ones used for water. No need to overcomplicate things in this aspect. I have 10 liters of a beautiful, sweet, aromatic, and yellow Pejibaye wort. I'm going to use bread yeast, the cheapest I found. This brand gives me good results. I can't complain. It works well if the wort is below 15 Brix degrees. Write that tip down. We are going to place the airlock. Don't be scared. I have professional equipment, but I like to work with what I consider best. A simple balloon pierced with a pin. Cheaper and more efficient. Believe me, living in Latin America has certain advantages. Will whiskey come out of this? We'll see. Look, when the balloon is stiff, it means it's fermenting and we have to wait. This is what the wort looks like after 15 days. Now I'm going to distill. My distiller is modular. I designed and assembled it, but everyone can distill in their own equipment. The important thing is knowing how to cut the heads, removing the methanol. If you don't know how, don't dare to distill without researching first. If you want to learn how to distill at home, I highly recommend my book, How to Distill at Home, which is available on Amazon. The link is in the video description. I do 2 distillations, a fast one without a column and a very slow one with a plate column. In the second one, I cut the heads. I obtained about 750 milliliters of 90% spirit, already free of heads and tails. I diluted it with distilled water and left it at 45%. Now I'm going to age it. Here is my accelerated aging equipment. I simply keep it at 60 degrees Celsius for 12 hours with 5 grams of American oak chips, and I set the condenser as a reflux to condense any vapor that wants to escape. If you don't have this equipment, you place it in a glass jar with the chips for about 3 months. The result is the same. And here is the result. Look at that beautiful amber color it acquired. I'm going to give it one last filtration with paper before bottling. Now, I have almost 2 bottles with a strength close to 42%. Finally, I'm going to teach you another trick. I'm going to round it out with a splash of my homemade sherry-style wine. This is to simulate the aging time in those expensive barrels. It adds some sweetness and rounds out the whiskey in an incredible way. This is one of the best whiskeys I have ever distilled. The profile is fruity and caramelized, very original. The carotenes are responsible for those complex aromas. As for the flavor, it's very characteristic of American whiskey, with personality and texture, without losing the identity of the Pejibaye. See you soon. Thank you.